Hello, children. Today, I'd like to use this lesson to review with you division with decimals. I'm going to show you a strategy that I showed you in class that I use as a way to divide, and I'm going to use my conceptual understanding and understand what type of quotient I should and can get from this type of division problem in order to divide it fluently. And part of dividing it fluently, to do that, I will use a division strategy. So my problem is 40 hundredths divided by 60. The first thing I know is that I'm taking a number that's less than 1 and I'm splitting it into 60 pieces. Imagine if you had one pencil that you had to split into 60 pieces. It would be, your quotient would be 1/60th. You'd have an answer less than 1. Um, So in this case, conceptually, we will get an answer that's less than 1. And let me show you uh, what I would do to solve this problem. And many of you are familiar with the whole number conversion here with your dividend and divisor. I take a look at the number that has the decimal, and this is 40 hundredths, and I'm going to multiply this by 100, and I multiply it by 100 because multiplying it by 100 makes this decimal a whole number. Not all decimals, but because it's in the hundredths place, multiplying it by 100 or moving the decimal 2 spaces would give me 40. And this number 60, I would do the same thing. I would move the decimal 1, 2 spaces, which is like multiplying by 100, and I would get 6,000. And I rewrite my numbers like this so that I can restart the division. Now my new problem is 40 divided by 6,000, which is the same thing as 40 hundredths divided by 60. And now I'm going to show you how I solve this. I don't right away begin the actual division process with this type of division bar. What I write instead is a fraction, 40 over 6,000. And what I'm writing is the exact same thing, 40 over 6,000. 40 divided by 6,000. It means the same thing as this, 40 divided by 6,000. From here I can see the problem in a little different angle, or a different way I should say. I can simplify the problem. I can divide each side now by 10. 40 divided by 10 is 4. 6,000 divided by 10 is 600. Now I have a newer problem. 4 over 600. And from here I can simplify it further. Both are even numbers, so I can divide each by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 600 divided by 2 is 300. Now I have 2 over 300, or 2 divided by 300, which is the same as 40 hundredths divided by 60. From here I can simplify it even further. They're both even, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 300 divided by 2 is 150. Now I could report my answer like this, that 40 hundredths divided by 60 is 1/150th. This is technically the correct answer. I know I'm done with the problem because I can't simplify it any further. My numerator is 1. But what if I did want to report this as a decimal and then a percent? I would, instead of doing 40 hundredths divided by 60, or 40 divided by 6,000, or 4 divided by 600, or 2 divided by 300, I would just do 1 divided by 150 to find out what this is as a decimal. And here, that's the last operation I'm going to perform. 150 can't go into 1. So what I do is I put a 0 over the 1 with a decimal point right after it. Then I place a 0 over here to ask myself if 150 can go into 10. But it can't, so I place a 0 where the quotient would be. Then I put another 0 here, and I ask myself, can 150 go into 100? And it can't, so I place a 0 at the top where the quotient would be. Then I place another 0 here. Then I ask myself, can 150 go into 1,000? Yes, it can. 150 times 10 would be 1,500, so 10 is too large. I'll try something like 8. 15 times 8. That gives me 1,200. That's too large. I'm going to try 15 times 6. I'm doing my work in the upper corners here. 15 times 6, or 150 times 6 would give me 900. That seems like it would fit without going over. So 150 times 6 is 900, which I'll subtract, and now I'll have 100, and I'll go again. Now I could stop the problem here, but I like to have a second digit. That's not a 0. 150 cannot go into 100, so I bring a 0 down. And I already know that 150 can go into 1,000 6 times, and I'll stop over there. And this is the answer to, or this is the quotient to 40 hundredths divided by 60. But you see I did all of this here, and then I got that. And I could even report this in fraction form. So I urge you and even challenge you to try to report these in fraction forms if you're comfortable enough. And then if you'd like to have a challenge, of course, convert these fractions into decimals. Thank you, and please go to your work now. Have a good day.